What's up, your boy Domuto here, back with another video. Today we're watching UnrealEntGaming Beyond Dragon Ball Super, Master Ultra Ego Vegeta, and versus Primal Goku conclusion. A new enemy emerges. Hey, look, y'all, I did the thing earlier today. You know what I'm saying? We about to, you know what I'm saying? Can y'all see it? Hold on, I can't really see the camera. There you go. Yo, 4-star Dragon Ball. You know how we do. First tap. You know what I'm saying? Like to share with my viewers, you know how we do. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? We locked in for real. You know what I'm saying? We locked in. Anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and Lego. You know what I'm saying? We locked in. Y'all see it.
As our story now continues, following the initial battle involving both Primal Ultra Instinct Goku going up against Master Ultra Ego Vegeta on Beerus' planet, to which it was only just upon with the gods having to oversee their students locked in a very intense battle as Whis and Beerus went on to observe, was when Whis went on to then chime back in. Now, not for nothing, but I must say that although this battle between them has only gone for about 2.5 minutes thus far, they sure do know how to put on a great show for the audience that is watching. But judging based from what I can see, it would only appear as though my student is currently the one who is in control here. But what say you, Lord Beerus? Do you happen to disagree? Oh, please, you wish. And because you said that, Beerus went on to then quickly respond, and I think that you ought to go and get your eyes checked out, because that couldn't be further from the truth, and you know it, Whis. For it is Vegeta who is leading the charge here, and so that much is clear, and deep down, you know that to be the case, Whis. With Whis responding, well, I'd hate to have to go and disagree with you on your position, my lord, but, well, I'm going to have to strongly disagree with your assessment, Whis adds, but that's okay, because you'll come to soon find this out the hard way as this battle goes on. But I'll just let you go and assume what you'd like in the meantime, just so you can comfort yourself, Lord Beerus. With Beerus responding, yeah, right, keep dreaming, Whis, cause you'll be the one that will be seeing this in the end. And so now, Vegeta, this is your moment to go and crush that Saiyan with everything you've got. And so don't go and let up against that idiot until you've knocked him out cold, Beerus went on to then shout. And since we're running out of time, go and put him out of his misery and honor my title as your mentor by smashing his face into the ground. Well, you know what to do out there, Goku. Whis went on to then quickly intervene upon Beerus being shown encouraging Vegeta. Oh, and try not to embarrass Vegeta too badly out there, and so go and do what you must, because thus far he doesn't seem as though he is able to figure you out. And then so whatever your strategy is, make sure to keep the pressure on him no matter what. With Beerus chiming back in, oh, why you, Whis, you dog, how dare you continue to root against me like this and expect for me not to take this personal. To which all the while in the meantime, as Vegeta from that point was then shown having to rub upon his chin before being shown having to address Goku, was when Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, well, I'll admit, you have certainly grown far stronger than I imagined that you'd be since the last time you and I went to war against each other like this, but I want you to know this, Kakarot. For every ounce of pain that you go on to afflict upon me will only continue to go and make me stronger, and sooner or later, your clock will strike 0, and when that time comes, I will go on to finish you off, and there will be nothing that you will be able to stop that from happening. As you know it, I know it, and the gods who are watching know it as well. And so just face it, Vegeta continues, because while you and I are seemingly destined to do this for an eternity, I just want you to know that no matter how high you climb and no matter how powerful you become, I will always find a way to reach you if it's the last thing that I do. And you should know this very well by now, because this isn't our first rodeo, and it damn sure won't be our last, Vegeta continues. And since we're already here, why don't we go and have a little bit of fun then, shall we? Yes, why don't we? Because since you're so evasive and deceptively durable, what do you say we take things up a notch or two and see if you're durable enough to survive these. But I warn you, if you think that by coming into contact with any of these, let alone all of them at the same time, is going to be easy, then you are in for a very rude wake-up call, Kakarot. For these may look small, but they pack more power within each of them than you think, with Goku responding, yeah, well, we'll see, but don't even think about trying it because you know that this isn't going to end in your favor, and so I'm letting you know this now. But if you still want to go ahead and try your luck against me, Vegeta, then by all means try, with Vegeta then shown having to unleash his Hakai orbs by then responding, oh, you're too kind, but don't you worry, because I will, Kakarot. Which it was only within that very moment as Goku was shown having to forcefully unleash more of his attacks and having to collide against Vegeta's Hakai orbs was when Beerus went on to then chime back in. Now, while I already had expected for Goku's Primal Ultra Instinct level to be a great challenge for Vegeta in this battle, I have no doubt that one of the many abilities that Vegeta possesses that will give him the edge in this battle here over Goku is the tenacity and the resilience that Vegeta has to grow stronger through pain. And as I know that this will eventually go and tip the scales in his favor once we reach the climax of this battle, Whis, and so just you wait, with Whis responding, well, although I will go as far as to say that despite with Vegeta's ability to turn pain into power is certainly impressive, there is of course a fine line between resilience and recklessness, Lord Beerus, with Beerus responding, yeah, well, I can go and tell you here and now that Vegeta isn't solely operating on a reckless basis, but you'll soon see as to exactly what I mean in due time. And although Goku can continue to try and rely on his speed and strength to try and catch Vegeta off balance when he isn't looking, Beerus continues, I can go and promise you one thing here and now, and that is Vegeta is always watching and always paying very close attention, Whis. And you think that Goku isn't aware of this, my lord, Whis went on to then question, because if you truly think that my student isn't going to be ready for whatever Vegeta may go and throw his way, well, then I think that you are going to find out the hard way as to why that is in due time. But for now, let us go and enjoy this contest between them, for I can start to sense that this is about to become far more intense than how we are seeing them face off with now. To which it was only then in the meantime when then having to go back to Goku as Goku was now beginning to see Vegeta's orbs of destruction now moving in from multiple different angles was when Goku then went on to quickly respond, whoa, but wait, he created more? But how is Vegeta doing this, as I didn't think that Vegeta would go and create this many orbs of destruction within such a short amount of
Vegeta's
time
like
this.
that, nigga.
So this isn't good, but wait, there's even more? And now they're seemingly having to come from the other side now too? But how is he able to go and do this? Well, this isn't good because those orbs of destruction are seemingly everywhere now, and if I don't hurry and find a way to dodge these and get to him while I still can in order to stop him, then he's simply going to continue to fire these upon me until they overwhelm me. To which, as Vegeta was then beginning to now address Goku, was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, what's the matter, Kakarot? Did I happen to go and catch you by surprise? For you didn't think that I'd be able to create this many orbs of destruction in battle, now did you? Well, that's the difference between us, Kakarot. For I've been learning from one of the mightiest gods of destruction, and the benefits are far more than you can ever hope to imagine, and right now I'm going to show you. And so while you may try and escape me again, I'm going to go and warn you now that you will not be escaping me like you were shown doing before again. And so go ahead and just try, because you won't be able to be quick enough to go and outmaneuver your way out of this one. And so because of that, don't say that I didn't go and warn you ahead of time, Kakarot. Which all the while in the meantime, with Goku being shown having to do his best and yet again trying to avoid each and every single one of Vegeta's orbs of destruction, was when Goku then went on to quickly respond, well, you sure aren't making this any easier for me, but this isn't going to work on me like how you've tried using against me before. And while I know that you won't stop either way, you really ought to try something new while you still can, because once I go and find my way to go and get my hands on you, then I'll make sure that you aren't going to be trying this on me ever again, Vegeta. But then, it was only just when Goku thought that he had gotten away away with Goku having to observe and seeing all of the orbs of destruction now beginning to reposition themselves was when Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, "You are far too predictable than you think that you are, Kakarot. Tell me something, do you really think that you can see everything as well as you claim to be able to see? Because I say that you are far too blind to the subsidies of true combat, because the very moment you believed that you had the upper hand here against me and thinking that this was going to be the same as it was before, was the very moment I knew that you would go and play right into my hands, Kakarot. And because you went and fell into the exact trap that I wanted you to go and fall into, you were able to go and see what I had wanted you to see, but didn't stop to consider the possibilities beyond those orbs of chaos, for sometimes the most lethal attacks are the ones that you never see coming." To which moments later, as Vegeta was then shown surprisingly enough having to grab onto Goku's tail and clutching onto it, was when Goku then went on to turn around by responding, "What the? So I should have known that you'd be up to something like this, because I had a feeling that those orbs of destruction were used as a ploy somehow. But I never thought that you would actually go and use such a cheap tactic like this against me, and so what happened to facing me head on with all of your strength?" With Vegeta responding, "And who said that I wasn't? For you were always too trusting of me in battle, Kakarot, as leaving your tail exposed during the heat of battle was a mistake, and it'll be one mistake that I will make sure you regret, especially when you lose this battle, Kakarot. For you can't go and run from me forever, and while your tail is in my grasp, there is no running, no dodging, and no escape. Because now that you are trapped, I am going to make sure that you never find a way out of this fight while I have you. Darn it, Vegeta, that's a cheap tactic to go and use against me during this battle, and you know it. Oh, but just so you know that you aren't going to be getting away with this, because I will find a way to break through, and when I do," but then it was only just before Goku was even shown having to have the opportunity to finish his sentence was when Vegeta's orbs of destruction were then shown slamming right into Goku, with Vegeta quickly responding, "Oh, I'm sorry, and you'll go and do what exactly? Because I couldn't quite catch that after having my orbs just slam into your body the way they just did, but it was like I said, Kakarot, for you are without a chance here," with Goku shouting, "I won't have you go and get away with this, Vegeta, because blindsiding me like that was a cheap tactic, and you know that it is." Well, even if it was, who is it meant to benefit in this battle, Kakarot? Me. Who did you allow to go and seize the opportunity to take advantage of you while you weren't looking? Me. And so as far as I'm concerned, this battle tactic may have been cheap for you, but it definitely wasn't cheap for me. Well, since you're the one who claims to be benefiting the most out of this, Goku's elbow was then shown emerging before being shown smashing into Vegeta's face, then here, Vegeta, why don't I just simply go and help you benefit some more then? To which, as Goku was then shown having to strike Vegeta, was when Beerus then went on to quickly respond, "What the? Oh, that was just dirty, Whis. Vegeta couldn't see him coming, and so Goku's cheating." No, stop it, Lord Beerus. And so are you saying that it is only okay if Vegeta were to employ cheap tactics to win a fight, but wrong if Goku were to go and do the same thing? Oh, yes, it is, and I don't care what excuses you go and make for that idiot. Vegeta had his number, and you know that he did, and so he just got lucky, that's all. To which it was only just upon with Primal Ultra Instinct Goku then shown having to quickly turn the tables on Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, and from that point then being shown having to hold the upper hand, was when Whis went on to then continue, "Well, while I try and ignore your cries of anyone having to cheat here, I tried telling you that Goku wasn't going to be the same as you remembered him being in battle, my lord. Yeah, well, neither is Vegeta, and so while you continue to prop Goku up as being untouchable," Beerus continues, "it should be very clear to you by now that Goku is far from untouchable, as proven by what Vegeta had just done," with Whis responding, "Well, I don't know where you seem to have gotten this notion from, as I never said that Goku was untouchable, but I did go on to make a note and remind you that he sure wasn't going to be an easy opponent for Vegeta to overcome either, now did I? But while I will go as far as to give credit to both warriors for making the efforts to go and do this, it would only now appear as though their battle is beginning to intensify more and more now, isn't it, Lord Beerus?" to which it was only within that very moment as Vegeta's body was shown having to crash on down onto the ground before having to look up was when Vegeta then quickly went on to respond. Why you? But how did you go and manage to escape that? Wait, he's rapidly making his way right down towards me, which only now means that he's starting to go for broke, and that's where I'll crush him. Yes, and so I'll need to hurry and go right for the finishing blow before he is allowed to go and make any sort of move on me, and I need to go and do it by acting now. To which it was only just then with Vegeta being shown having to dash right towards Goku as Goku is shown having to dash towards Vegeta was when Vegeta quickly went on to then shout, well, now you've done it, and so you can go and kiss your efforts of beating me like you thought you would. Goodbye, Kakarot. Now take this. What? No, but how did you? Maybe you're the one who should have been paying closer attention here, Vegeta, because it looks like you were right after all. Goku then went on to suddenly vanish, because maybe everything isn't always the way we see it, and there's more that meets the eye than we tend to give ourselves credit for. And so now, Solar Flare!
Solar Flare is crazy.
You'd go and use this trick, you bastard! And so now enough is enough, Vegeta, and while you still may believe that your sheer willpower alone is going to be enough to bring me down during this battle, I'm about to go and prove to you as to why you are terribly wrong. Goku then went on to power up his energy by responding, and while I don't expect for you to understand what I had went through when going up against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, it was only while I had found myself locked in a death battle against them all where I had went on to go and discover this, Vegeta. And so while we're running on borrowed time here with how much of it that still remains, Goku continues, I am going to end this battle once and for all, and I'm going to do it by using this. As Whis went on to then look on by questioning, oh dear, could this be the attack that I think that it is? With Beerus then having to quickly shout, well, it looks like he's going for broke up there, and so you better not let up and fire back with everything that you have if you hope to walk away from this battle as the winner, Vegeta. And while I know that you are one of the strongest warriors that I ever had the honors in standing across from in battle, Goku then went on to continue upon being shown forming his attack. Unless I decide otherwise, or unless you can harbor an attack that'll be strong enough to hold out against this, then out of respect for you, Vegeta, this battle of ours is over. And so now, Dragon Cannon! Oh no, you will not win, not while I'm still able to further draw breath within this body, Kakarot. And so now if you're looking to go all out and finally end this, then let's go and end this. Hand of Destruction! Yes, good. Now push back against his attack and don't allow for Goku's power to overtake yours, Vegeta, Beerus then went on to shout. Don't force me to go and use everything against you, Vegeta, so just give it up and stop this, because you know that you can't win. As Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, never. I will never back down against you, no matter how strong you become, Kakarot. Well, from the looks of it, based on from what I can see, Whis went on to then quickly chime back in. And it would seem as though despite with Goku seemingly having Vegeta's number, Vegeta continues to hold his ground in this fight, but how long is the question? As Beerus then went on to quickly chime back in. Oh, come on now, Vegeta. Don't just hold his attack in place, but try to find a way to overtake and fire it right back at that Saiyan, damn it. For I didn't go and agree to have you carry my title if you were simply going to stalemate yourself alongside Goku, and so you must find a way to go and fire back. Just give it up and face it, Vegeta, because your body won't be strong enough to hold out for much longer, and once you've reached your limit, then you and I both know that this is over, Goku shouts. For I'd rather be destroyed than ever back down in a battle against you, and so I'm not going to stop until you're lying on your face beneath my feet, Kakarot. Well now, would you go ahead and look at that? Whis went on to then glance on down towards the hourglass by responding, for it would only seem as though their battle has all but 5 seconds remaining, with Beerus responding, Whis, I don't like what I'm seeing take place up there, Whis, for that attack of Goku's is far too unstable, and with Vegeta forcing more and more of his destructive power into it, they're going to go and level this entire universe if we don't put a stop to this here and now. Whis, are you listening? Whis, Whis! But then, it was only within that very moment, with the gigantic explosion then having to be shown overtaking the entirety of what once was of Beerus's planet, was when Whis went on to then quickly chime back in. My goodness, what a gargantuan collision and monstrous explosion. Incredible, but a good thing I had went and created a barrier not just for ourselves, Whis continues, but by also creating a barrier around your planet to help prevent the spread of having these two completely destroy Universe 7 as we know it, and so it's a good thing that I did. But are you okay, Lord Beerus? With Beerus having to then shout, What do you mean if I'm okay? Do I look okay to you? So no, I'm not okay, Whis. What do you think this is? Just what have they done to my planet, Whis? For they have went and completely obliterated my entire planet along with everything and anything that was in and around my planet as well, and so it's all gone. It's all gone, Whis.
Is it all gone?
I will say that while the destruction is indeed severe, Whis went on to then respond upon having to see what remained of Beerus's world. And it's remarkable on how Goku and Vegeta had managed to pull back at the very last moment after they went on to realize that by continuing to push back at one another at full force the way they did, would it had ultimately have led to catastrophic consequences if they didn't. For it is also a testament to their control that they were able to prevent the entire universe from collapsing entirely. But, well, not for nothing, at least things aren't as bad as they could have been when considering the amount of power that they were using, with Beerus then responding, It's gone, they ruined it all, Whis, it's all gone, my planet, my bed, my food, everything's been destroyed, and whether those idiots pulled back at the final moments prior to their collision or not, they had likely ended up having to destroy each other in the process now too, with Whis responding, Well, actually, my lord, and I wouldn't go as far as to say that, because Goku and Vegeta, although extremely injured, are actually still alive, as they appear to be right down there below us and seemingly ready to continue fighting. But unfortunately for them, it would only now appear as though that their time has expired, with an angry Beerus being shown turning by responding, Wait, say what now? They're alive? Where? And just where are they? Because I can't see them. Tell me, Whis. To which it was only back down below, with both Goku and Vegeta barely shown having to still be able to hang in the fight but wanting to battle nonetheless, was when Goku then went on to chime back in. That was a close one, but not bad, Vegeta. But as you can still see, I'm still standing, and so what do you say? You want to go another round? Cause I'm not done. Not by a long shot, with Vegeta responding, You're going to regret launching an attack of that magnitude against me, cause, well, as you can clearly now see, I'm not done either, and so if you want to go another round with me, then let's do this. And so now come and let's settle this for good, as an angry Beerus then went on to quickly shout, Enough, you imbeciles, for you will not engage any further, especially not after having to destroy my entire world. Do you hear me? For this fight of yours is now over, and so now stay right where you both are. But it was only interestingly enough in the meantime elsewhere, when then having to take a look in seeing into an unknown timeline with three mysterious individuals having to oversee a mysterious universe with multiple planets on the horizon, was when one of those individuals went on to then respond, The symphony of their screams as they watch hopelessly while their worlds burn before their very eyes is like music to my ears. For the very essence of all life has fallen into such a pitiful state, teeming with weakness and corruption for as far as the eye can see, as it is a sight that sickens me to my very core, which is exactly why they are all to be exterminated without a trace, for in the end there shall only be one that will remain, as another one of the three individuals then went on to quickly respond, Yes, and it shall be, O Great One, for we have scoured every corner of this dimension in hopes of finding the Infinity Orb, but it would only now appear as though there is nothing left for us to go and search for within this timeline, as the orb doesn't seem to be here, Master. And since the orb is not here, shall we go and carry on through your will and obliterate this entire timeline before moving on to the next one, as we are fully determined and will stop at nothing to ensure that the orb is within your possession within a matter of time, Great One. To which it was only then within that very moment, as multiple planets were then shown having to explode as the three individuals had conversed further, was when one of the individuals then went on to respond, interesting, and are you both absolutely sure that every corner of this realm has been searched through and cleared out thoroughly, as I will not tolerate for even the slightest of errors to be made, Dementor. And so now are you sure that the orb is not within this timeline? Yes, for we are positive, O Great One of the second Dementors then went on to quickly respond, for even those whom we've punished for information did not possess the knowledge of where the orb is. However, just because we were unable to find it, we will not rest until we have found it, no matter how many realities and universes we must go and destroy in order to obtain it, Master.
Ooh, okay.
Very well.
Who the fuck are these people?
We will now move on to our next destination, but not without one final act to be made, so that I may go and remind these creatures of exactly who it is that I am and why I stand without any equals to oppose me. And so now let us commence with the destruction of this entire reality and timeline. To which it was only right then and there within that moment, when then having to venture on back within the tournament realm and having to oversee the Grand Priest alongside with the Omni Kings, was when the Grand Priest then went on to chime back in. Alright, and there we are now, for it is finally finished and created to your very design, just as you had instructed, sires. And so what do you both think about our stage thus far? It's quite the sight to see given its sheer size when compared to the others now, isn't it? Whoa, it looks so cool! Both of the Omni Kings quickly went on to then simultaneously respond. Whoa, can we go down there and check it all out since this entire stage is finally done? Oh, by all means, if you wish to go and test the stage out for yourselves to see if you both like the Grand Priest responds, then by all means you are both welcome to go and do so, sires. To which it was only as the Omni Kings were then shown having to step on down and running around the entire stage was when both of the Omni Kings then went on to quickly respond. Wow, there is so much room for us to watch everyone fight down here. It's just perfect. For this was exactly how we imagined for our tournament stage to be like, and so we love it. Well, with that said, I'm glad to see that the Omni Kings are very pleased with the results of my tournament stage construction, the Grand Priest went on to then respond, because at least now this leaves me to go and construct the remaining parts of the arena before they could go and call for this grand event to even begin. And while I can already expect for this event to surely be one for everyone to remember, the Grand Priest continues, and I just hope that the Omni Kings don't get too carried away once this tournament finally begins. And otherwise, I would hate to have to go and restart this entire event if things end up getting a little too out of control for the Omni Kings to handle. But while I'm here, and since I'm almost done, why don't I go and finalize the remaining parts of the entire arena before I go and make my way into. But then it was only just upon within that very moment, as the Grand Priest went on to briefly pause upon having to sense something very disturbing, was when the Grand Priest went on to then continue. But wait a second now, and what was that unsettling presence that I was briefly able to sense just now, the Grand Priest questions? For whatever that was that I was momentarily able to get a glimpse of was not only dark within its nature, but it was also disturbingly powerful as well. For that was unlike anything that I have ever sensed come from within the 12 existing universes. And so, could it possibly be that this energy was emanating from far beyond any of our current known realms? For it almost had felt as though I knew this power, the Grand Priest continues. But who or what could possibly possess such a dark and twisted energy like this? And better yet, is where exactly did that mysterious power just come from? For I must go and follow through and look deeper into this matter, for whatever that was that I had just sensed, I cannot continue to go and allow to be kept unchecked, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Legacy of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 3 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take...
All right, that was a fire chapter, man. Goku, you know Goku and Vegeta, they always gonna have a fucking main event ass fight that obviously everybody you gonna love it every time, man. So shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe as always, and you know I'll catch y'all next time, man. Check out the last video right here. Check out another video you might like over here, and I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.